living long in the fast lane. The days go green. Highways and stairways, part of a big machine. '84, 1999, the night moved in the day. Fighting time, fighting pride, I can't get away. Going to King of the Hill, big money, heavy price. I wanna rock, but never take it. In the box, tumble dice. Say goodbye to all the romance. Take a tour with death. Heavy metal, power blowing, free falling, one last breath. In your eyes, child of fire, shooting stars will shine. Last in line, rising high, think of a word to rhyme. They remember you. Bang a gong, get it on. The place we call the zoo. Rhapsody, wow, I see. I'm alive, 1 or 2. Purple haze in the rain, paranoid, who are you?
We had 2 songs playing at the same time. Episode 92, STL Roar, MyCityMyMusic.com. We've got HellTown Saints in the house. We don't have to pay him. What? Oh, turn that off? Unmute it. Okay. Well, everybody can hear me anyway because I'm so freaking loud, but it's all good. Anyway, so Vance and John Or here we heard the second song off their CD. Legends was the name of the song. The first one, we heard part of that, and it got mixed in with Conquest. The World's Gone to Hell. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
We had some technical
At least it was
difficulties.
Conquest.
Yeah, it was right.
Wasn't like Culture Club or Oingo Boingo.
Oh, come on. How about some Taylor Swift?
Wife might like that.
So we got gifts. Look at this. I have a Charlie Brown. I can't talk. Is this his garage band? Is this part of his garage band?
Yeah, that was me, and that'll be me in about another 5 more years, hair-wise.
What is that glued into your hat now?
Yeah, I wear hats with rims of hair.
Oh, I see.
There was
That's
one
awesome.
time at Charlotte, somebody had asked me, and I didn't have a hat on. I just kind of had it brushed back, cover it a little bit. And they're like, "Is that a wig?" And I was like, "Who buys a wig with a bald spot?" Judy heard that and she cracked up. I don't make Judy laugh too many times. I made her mad a few times.
I know. Shout out to Charlotte, like Judy. She gets one of these because she's the bomb. Oh, my voice is shot all to hell. It's Christmas. We had the Christmas jam at Parrots. It was slamming. Did you see any of it?
No, I did not, but I saw who was playing.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
It was killer.
So, when I made my little statement about,
What'd you say?
about, some, should I even say that?
Yes, you can say whatever you want.
About some bands are bottom feeders or something. And then I saw the lineup there, and I was like, boy, open mouth, insert foot.
Oh, geez. It was a last-minute thing, actually, because Rob Connolly is the new owner of Parrots, and he literally brought a chef in, and the food is, oh, my God, to die for. I mean, it's really good. So we're changing a bunch of stuff. He made me the entertainment director, so I'm booking the bands there, which is cool. And then we started up the Wednesday night jam again, but I'm rotating musicians in and out of there. And since Charlotte was closed on Saturday and Dymo was supposed to have been closed on Saturday, Rob wanted, the owner of Pirates, he wanted to see if ALI could play Saturday night for Christmas. Because some people want to go out after Christmas dealing with family and all the bullshit. Please let me out of here. They want to go and do something. But Tony wasn't, he had family obligations. So Mark and I was standing there. It was Mark and Lena and myself and Steve Hall and Diane. We were just talking about it, and he said, "Steve, you want to just put a jam together?" And so it was like a last-minute thing, and we threw it together. And Sammy was going to be in town, and and it was off the freaking chain. I'm not kidding.
It's always fun when you get all those guys in the same building together. It doesn't happen too often.
I mean, just the caliber of talent in there. And then we probably had about 20 people show up, and they got to get up there and sing or play or do whatever they wanted. So it was a lot of fun.
Come by and check it out.
You have to come by, but it'll be better this time, I promise. Poor Vance. Every time, 2 or 3 times in a row, he came in and it got fucked up. It was so bad. This poor guy. I mean, fuck this. I'm out of here.
First, it started out. Who do you want to play with, John Ringling or Mark Crowell? And I'm like, God, I love John Ringling. He's a great guitar player. But duh.
That's Mark Crowell.
Mark Crowell. Yeah. And I wound up playing with neither one of them. It was, my God, I can't even think of his name.
I can't either.
I was in Revolver with him.
Oh, was it Austin? No, well, not Austin. It was
Brandon
Patton.
Brandon Patton.
Right.
Good
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
He comes. He's there every Wednesday. So yeah, but I mean, the song was screwed up. Somebody didn't know something. He was losing his temper, and I was going, oh no, here we go. It's gonna be bad.
No, actually, Bridget was going, what shit show did you just walk in?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I was playing with Mark Crowell.
Everybody else
and
was.
And then me and Brandon, we hadn't played together since we did the Velvet Revolver tribute years ago. We had 2 shows. One was great. We got to open up for the Tool tribute band Undertow.
Right.
Pops, that was a great show. And then we tried doing it again a few weeks later with the Alice in Chains tribute band from Chicago, which that was just a complete disaster.
Yeah, I was so disappointed. In that band, I just couldn't. Don't even put that name on a band if you can't.
Well, he's the singer of Revolver now with Austin Johnson.
Oh, okay.
And the funny thing about it, that day of that show, it was bad. I was not on my game at all, and not like I was the first time. I think we were still coming down off the buzz up to how great
Right.
the show was, you
Right.
know. And then I forgot where I was going to go with this. My dad says it gets worse. You know, he's almost 70. But we were just, we looked at each other and we were like, well, what are we going to do? And I'm like, we know Slether, but I mean, we don't want to do that. I don't even know what song we wound up playing, but we pulled it off. It was still fun.
Yeah. Oh well. But anyway, yeah, this poor guy was. And then the next time he came in, something else blew up, and it was like, what is? He's the only one that could come into a jam session and couldn't get. It was not smooth at all. I mean, it was a freaking train wreck. The last time he just said fuck. He walked in, looked at me, and just said fuck, and walked out. I already know. I'm not dealing with your shit anymore. I don't remember what it was, but it was just like, this doesn't happen to anybody else.
It will happen to me. For sure.
I didn't understand that at all.
I am a living, breathing Charlie Brown. And I'm alright with that.
Good grief.
Blockhead.
Oh well, it's all good. But now your newest project is HellTown Saints. Tell us about who's in, who does what, who plays what. And
Oh, it sounds true.
John, hey John, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like 3 members of the band.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
I'm
Keys,
the
bass player, and guitar.
guitar.
And
Okay.
he's pretty much the songwriter. I wrote lyrics to 4 of the songs off the last one.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually remaking one of my songs that I wrote and did all guitar on this next one, Revelation in Bloom. He did a remake of that. We sent it off to Chad Minders, which I'm sure you know who he is.
Yeah,
he's our
yes.
drummer.
He's our hired
Oh,
drummer. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
then, so that's how it is. Neither one of us, except for me and John, have been in the same room together when we recorded that.
Oh, very cool.
The same
Yeah, we're
thing.
joke. You can joke and say our biggest influence is Boston, because that's how Boston, did all their discs. It was Tom Schultz was working in his basement, on these demos, pretending like it was a real band, and sending them out to the record labels, and then it's like, okay, he's signed, then assembles a band later,
Right.
after the fact.
He was probably thinking we were going to turn to that because I'm the biggest procrastinator.
No.
It's like-
No way.
Well, one of the songs we did, the first one, Headlights, that was the first part that we played. I had the vocal melody and one line I just had in my head for like 6 months straight. But I just had writer's block. I couldn't go. And I said, just come on over, we'll record some scratch vocal tracks and get an idea. And turned out, I wrote a verse, we recorded that, and I just fed off it, and we wound up writing the lyrics to that song as we recorded it. And
That's
that was
cool.
pretty cool. And we were like, man, these are keepers.
Yeah. When you don't overthink it, you just throw it out there. A
So
lot of
sweet
times
up.
it comes out to be the best. When you
Because I'm
don't.
a stickler when it comes to writing the lyrics. I don't want to be I like to tell stories more, and I like every other word to rhyme.
Right, right.
Or a bunch of "a baby, fuck,
Right, yeah.
I like your high heels. That's a given, I didn't.
We already got that.
I didn't get in this business for because I really enjoyed it all that much. I got into it in the beginning because of the girls in the party.
Well, of course. Who
Those
doesn't?
days were way behind me. And thank God, the fact that I even made it to 50 is a miracle in itself.
Well, that's good.
But like I was telling you earlier, we hope to do this live. Pretty much got the whole band there. We just need to find that rhythm guitar guy if we do this live.
Right.
Because he's got his hands full already.
You mean he can't do that and play everything else at the same
No,
time?
no.
You're not Jerry Boschert.
guy's
Nobody
sick.
is Jerry Boschert. He is sick, isn't he?
Funny too, yeah.
He is the
I
bomb.
just can only imagine what it looks like inside his brain.
He's an evil genius, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I remember the first time when he started, combining all the instruments to make, he can do one show and have 7 instruments going at the same time. Do you remember when he put the, I don't know how he did it, but he mounted 2 pedals on his Flying V, one on each of the.
I never seen that one. That doesn't surprise me.
That was a long time ago. I was cracking up. I said, damn it, Jerry. But he's just that,
Yeah.
he hears it, he sees it, and it happens.
And his pedal board's as big as his table.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yep.
It's like
I know him and Crowell both are just like,
Mm.
you just need three, you know.
Right.
You know, you need to start, stop, and wah-wah. That's all you need, right?
That'd be all I would need. That'd be too much for me.
Yeah. Back in the when you mentioned Mark Crowell, he was actually kind of indirectly an impetus behind a lot of this going on because I'm not a St. Louis native, but I moved out here, you know, because I met my wife. You know, I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, but I came out here, and then so I got coming out to the open stages at House of Rock, and then Charlotte, just hanging around him. I was like, you know, maybe I could do. I can't play covers half as good as any of these people, so maybe I could try to do some kind of original thing of some sort. So I just started recording stuff, and then eventually just kind of just get building and building. Is like, okay, maybe I could actually find someone out who could do vocals, and maybe I could find a real drummer. It was just
Right.
because I was doing a lot of stuff with just machines. Like I would just program drums and I'd record things on top of it, and it was never an idea of, well, could somebody actually sing over it? Who cares? I was just even like thinking more like Joe Satriani or Steve Vai or Denny Moore. It was just instrumental. Didn't care.
Right.
Then we linked up at this party that Austin Johnston.
It was actually the beginning of that day I met you was actually the first attempt to do a Shinedown tribute band.
Right.
Failed miserably.
Could you pick a harder band to be to doing a tribute
But
to?
you know,
Oh
when you're
my
sitting there
gosh.
working on those songs at home, you know, and I was working on those at home, I'm like, I can do this, I can nail it. And then when it was early in the morning too, but it eventually turned into the Revolver, and that's where me and him met at Austin Johnson's house.
Yeah, he had what was it? I don't remember. It was a party. He invited a bunch of people, like hung out at the Charlotte.
Yeah, his mom was frying catfish.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like
I love her.
30 people there. I mean, it was a lot of people there. Yeah, met Brandon there too, and guy was playing drummer. It was like a.
That was Ron Kraser, I think.
Maybe
Because he was the one that showed up for that audition, which we were all kind of auditioning each other, but we didn't have the sound of the big. That's a big production. Shinedown is.
Yes, it is.
It's
huge.
big sound, and that's where there was years ago you couldn't have told me that, but I'm a firm believer in it now that the sound man is the most important person in any band.
Yes.
And you need a damn good one to pull that one.
Yes, you do. So the Velvet Revolver thing is just dead in the water now, or
Oh, they're still doing it.
still
They're still doing it without me and the guy. I think weren't they called Grind or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Because
Yeah.
but Austin was also doing some of his own stuff too. He was just he was here, and he was just playing. It's just all instrumental because he doesn't sing.
Right. Yeah. He does a lot. He's a good guitar player.
He's
a lot.
amazing.
It was fun when we were doing that.
It's funny when so the first time I saw Sam Band was at House of Rock when he was a little kid. He was like 13.
Same here.
Quiet, didn't say. He just had a smile and glasses, and he's just playing his guitar. And he was like, "Oh my God, this kid's gonna do something." I could just tell. Mark was there and his dad. Anyway, and then when he started playing at Charlotte, like Austin, they both kind of grew up together playing, but they're both killer shredders. They both have their own style though, and they're both really, really good for their age. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, they definitely. There's always a difference. Somebody is a teenage, the teenage whiz kid versus can they actually become something out of it? Because there's in any field, it's true. You have YouTube, find teenage whiz kids who are figure skaters, painters,
Oh yeah.
musicians, whatever. Some percentage of them, you're seeing them at that's they've peaked.
Right.
But some percentage of them can actually break through and just become, great among greats.
Oh yeah, definitely. As long as they stick to it. The first time I met Austin, it was at Stratford when they used to do the open jam there, and I was booking that bar. That's when I was an agent, when I was booking everybody, and his mom came up and introduced herself and said, "My son," and I looked at that little face and I said, "He's adorable. Can he play?" And he got up there, he blew my hair off. I was like, "Holy shit!" I said, "Here's the problem. He's 15. I can't put him in a bar. Not with that baby face. There's no way." But they were more stricter on kids playing in the bar. It doesn't matter how good they are, even if I mean, now I think it's 10 o'clock. If they serve food and it's not smoking, then the kids can play in the bar, but they have to be out the door by 10 o'clock.
Sam Bam got lucky on that one. She got to pretty much go back. The first time I seen him was at the Family Arena of all places. He was opening up, or he was in that three-piece original band called I forgot the name. They were opening for House of the Holy Fair.
Oh, okay.
14 years old.
Yeah.
He'd come sit in with us every now and then with Mike Matthews.
Was he in that band? I can't remember. I think he was. He was. Oh yeah, he was. He was in Chameleon. Remember Chameleon? With John Shanahan.
Yeah.
And Mike Zorn's daughter was the lead singer. What was her name?
Oh, okay.
Taylor. Was it
Yes, I remember her.
And she lives in California, but I mean, wow, she was amazing.
Yeah.
But they used to play Pops a lot. That was when Pops had those midnight shows.
Yeah.
And Mike, let's see, no, WAP wasn't the drummer. Who was the drummer for them? That was.
I couldn't tell you. That was too long ago.
I just remember we used to go over there or we would meet up over there. A bunch of us from Charlotte, whatever was going on. That was when Picaro was playing 1860s a lot. WAP was playing with him then.
It might have been the WAP.
But WAP wasn't the drummer because he was. I don't remember who the drummer was then. I don't remember. Oh, it doesn't matter. But they had like what 6 people in that band, I think.
Probably
It was a big band. I don't remember if it was Guion or who. I don't remember, but I just remember Sam Bam and John and Taylor.
Yeah, I got a cousin who was a studio member and stage member of the band Iron and Wine. They toured nationally. They played every major TV talk show, late night talk show or whatever, and played Austin City Limits a couple times. One time, one of my friends and I were watching the video of this, and his, because he has a musical background too. He played in multiple cover bands, but he also very smart business guy. So he's looking at this band of 9 people and says, "Man, they gotta pay a lot of people at the end of that gig."
Yes. Yes, and sometimes it's even harder now because there are some bands out there that they have all their friends and buddies in there, and that's all fine and good. But when you are starting out and you're going to bring 7 people in and say, I can't give you $100 a man first time in because I don't know what you sound like. You can get in here and suck. So, but I mean, and some of them just play for fun, which is all great, but there are still that have those big bands, but it is what it is. So you guys going to play for us live?
All right.
Yeah, this is gonna be off the new one. We just kind of run through this one here.
Is this off the new 8-track?
Yeah, the new
8-track. New 8-track. Available on KTEL Records.
Do you remember? I used to make my own 8-tracks. The first one I made was a Rush one. I took one of their permanent waves and I made it. I burned it on an 8-track because that's what was in my car. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll attempt one, and like I said, we're doing.
Attempt a couple. We'll see if we don't suck on the first one, then we'll go to the second one. Okay?
Well, I don't know if we'll be able to do a second one. We almost didn't do it because I was like, well, I was like, he goes, well, I know it. He goes, I go, well, you better. You wrote it.
You don't know the words yet?
I haven't. Yeah, he wrote the lyrics to this one.
Okay.
He did most of the writing on this one.
That's cool.
One of my originals will be on it too.
Awesome.
So I got.
Where do you want him to stand, Tweezy?
More in the middle, cause you gonna leave the rug.
You want me to move that purple?
Yeah, they need to be like more in the middle of the.
Yeah, I can move mine.
Okay.
I'll move mine so you guys center up here in the middle. Do you want me to give him this purple, Mike? Or this one? Which one?
You know, either one.
Does this go up anyhow? Right? Yes, it does. I'll give you the pretty purple one.
It's got to be deep purple.
It is. Just think of it. Shut your eyes. It's not deep enough. Here you go. Come on over. Don't be scared. Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this.
Bring your music stand over.
Yeah, there you go. Right there. Strongest son of what they.
Okay, where do you want them?
Yeah, as long as they can see this.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's perfect.
Cool.
Alrighty.
We're gonna see what happens here.
All right.
Let her rip.
Hold on, let me get my drink.
Okay.
You get dry up there when you nervous.
You still get nervous?
Oh hell yeah.
That cracks me up. That's even cooler that you admit it.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that says they don't, I mean,
They're full of crap.
right, they're Ray Charles. A man alone, far from home, journey in his mind. From a place to his own experience he finds. Upon arrival, seeking survival, peaceful overtones. Plan a symbol, a hope is simple, the talent must be owned. Light inside can never hide, taking time to grow. Through the spaces, familiar faces, decades will flow. He learns to live, he learns to give, still looking to the sky. Living lifetime, growing bloodline, still the world will die. Time and space, a human race, I can feel that we belong. Your world is gone and still lives on, I can hear it in your song. Time and space, a human race, I can feel that we belong. Your world is gone and still lives on, I can hear it in your song. Not today, it can go away. The music is the way. Our common ground is in the sound, living for another day. Dream not today, it can go away. The music is the way. Our common ground is in the sound, living for another day. Okay.
Audience, here we go.
First time doing that one. Yeah.
You want to do another one?
We haven't worked on it.
Yeah.
Love to, I really would. I think
Yeah,
let the CD do the talking.
You left your beer over on the floor.
Oops.
Do you want it? Here.
Yeah, thank you.
Here.
Thank you, thank you,
You're
thank
welcome,
you.
y'all.
All right.
Alrighty,
We
guys.
did it.
Yep.
Yay! So, what do you want to play? One of your other? You want me to play your next one? Number 3, or you want to talk some more?
Well, we can talk about this song if you.
Okay,
if you have
yes,
any,
that'd be great. Talk about this song.
Well,
So, did you write all the songs, or
Yeah,
was
I
more
wrote all
collaboration?
these lyrics. I'm gonna like expose my inner geekness about what this is about because you look at these lyrics lyrics, and it's gonna be like, what is this really about? I had to make him watch an episode of Star Trek to understand this.
What?
Yeah.
And once you see it, it sounds weird.
And you had
at
to
first,
make him
and I'm
watch
like,
it? Who doesn't like Star Trek?
But there was a part of me sitting down there thinking, you hear that little voice in your head, like you're Al Bundy, sitting in the shoe store going,
Right.
why am I sitting here watching Star Trek to write a song? But then it makes perfect sense what you do. This is more of a concept album, I would call
Yeah,
it.
well, theme related, yeah, because it's
Wanna go?
no, thank you.
Okay, I'll do it.
If you got a Snickers, you bite. Cheers.
There we go.
Cheers
Cheers,
to all of
cheers,
you.
cheers,
Yep.
cheers, cheers, sweetie.
Cheers, sweetie.
Cheers. 2 years. Thank you so much.
Yes, awesome to be here.
Oh, that's awesome. 2 years.
So the idea behind the song is there's an episode of Star Trek, it's Star Trek: The Next Generation called "The Inner Light," and I was watching it again, and I was like, this is really deep, because the idea is there's this planet, a planet out there that existed thousands of years ago. They knew they were doomed, but they wanted to preserve something about themselves. So what they did is they preserved their music, but the way they had to do it was they sent the space probe that communicated to the captain of the Enterprise, Picard, that he had to live 40 years in their world to actually understand their music and understand what was going. So it was like, they show him in the beginning, he's like, what's going on here? And then they show him like trying to play this flute, and he's terrible. But as the episode progresses, they show him he's getting older and he's getting better on this flute.
Right.
And so the idea was like, he even says it is there anything in this world that is worth saving? And that was the whole point of the episode was the music was worth saving.
Right.
But in order for him to play this music, he had to experience what their world was for 40 years. And that kind of, especially now, turned 50, that hit me. It was like, yeah, to really understand some music is like, can take decades to really grasp what's going on. I mean, people are still listening to music from 200 years ago and and finding new insight or understanding it. So that's really where that's where the lyrics of this came from.
That's cool.
The light inside is like, yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. No, but I mean, we've all talked about that as far as, what's really sad is that the music that, the old blues guys and, where music started from, wherever it started from, but some of the old blues guys who didn't get any credibility or anything for the music until, David Lee Roth takes Ice Cream Man and makes it a Van Halen hit or whatever, but I mean, if they would have got the recognition, back then, but then again, when they played, it wasn't about the recognition, it was about the music.
Yeah.
And that we just keep it going and keep passing it on, to our generations down and down and down. And that way it does stay alive. That's the one thing that will survive.
I have hope for the future now. We'll all be really, really old and gray and
Dead.
I'll let you say.
I'm older than you.
Believe it or not,
I'm
one
closer.
day.
I'm closer to that.
You never know. Life's a funny game these days. But and I'm having that brain fart again. Carry on.
No, but it is. I mean, it's just it's something that it spans every generation. It has no prejudice. Music is music, and it's just one of those things that will survive no matter what.
It's these kids today, like the Sam Band, for instance, they're practically coming out of the womb musician masters.
Right.
Like,
What's great about it is that they do carry on the legacy, and it doesn't matter if they cut their teeth on a Led Zeppelin song or Taylor Swift or they write their own, as long as they do it and they do pay it forward, because that's how it does carry on. And the fact that their family's behind him, there's not a family that is more behind Sam Bam than his own. I've never seen such great support.
I've always said his dad deserves like some medal for going to like the House of Rock on 8 p.m. or staying there from 8 p.m. to 11 on a Monday night.
Yeah.
My dad.
Does he look like Ron Wood to you, or is it just me?
Yeah.
He looks like Ron Wood, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he
He looks
looks
just
bit,
like Ron Wood. Hi, Mommy.
I was Earl Slick is another person I've heard people say that Ben Colton looks like.
He's the nicest guy, but his job has enabled him to go to California, so he gets to see Sammy a lot, which is really cool. So that's awesome. But I mean, their family is just, it's all about them and the girls. I mean, they all support their kids so much. It's so great. I just love seeing it.
That's a big
Yeah.
family there.
Yeah.
Great people.
It is, but you gotta have the support. It's like I always say, it takes a village, and I feel like Charlotte has raised Sammy.
Oh, yeah.
Because
A lot of us,
We're-
actually.
exactly. I mean, everybody's. I mean, but Charlotte is its own entity. It's our own little. I call it
is.
Charlotte a go.
Everybody's it's kind of like
It's a
it
melting
is a
pot.
family environment in a way.
It's a melting pot. And
Maybe a sick, demented family, but we all love
it's
each
okay.
other.
We don't care. We don't judge. We do not judge.
And that's always been one of mine. Like like it's nothing fancy, nothing glamorous. It's kind of small, but no, it is small. But I mean, it's one of my favorite places.
But
to
the
play.
sound is amazing out of there.
it
I
is.
mean,
And-
even the bad shit doesn't
and
sound bad.
You always
Honestly-
knew when you're
honestly.
gonna play there.
Mhm.
Most, I had the help with being under Mike Matthews' wing for 8 years,
Mhm.
but you always knew there was gonna be a crowd there.
Definitely.
And people were gonna be into it.
Yeah, that's the other thing about the Charlotte is they've compared to like some other places. You even you're playing open stage in Charlotte, you have people who are paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how many gigs I played in my cover band days. Is like,
Mhm.
wow, we're playing for a bunch of people who seem to have no idea there's a band here.
Right. Well, it just depends. And the good thing about that, like you mentioned, Mark Crowell and I mean, some of those guys, the guys who've been playing for 100 years, even if you're new to the open jam scene and you go to Charlotte, they will help you. They will offer constructive criticism and not be assholes about it,
Right.
or if you just ask them anything, they're just like, yeah. I mean, I've seen Mark show anybody who wants to play his guitar how each pedal works and what does what, and I've seen some guitarists who will not do that.
Right.
Here's the guitar and walk off the stage. Come on.
I guess the
Yeah.
2 words.
There's a few,
Shut
yeah,
up.
whatever. It's so silly. But all the best musicians play at Charlotte. I mean, think about
Music
it.
shouldn't be a competition.
It should
between
not, no.
Musicians,
Mm-mm,
and
not like
it's-
that.
Unfortunately, it turns to be that way.
Sometimes.
There's some real assholes.
Sometimes, yeah. it
There
does.
might be some people out there that think I'm that asshole.
No.
I've been known, at an open jam one time. I remember.
It was at Parrots. Go ahead, you can say
No,
it.
it wasn't at Parrots. Actually, it was at not Helen Fixed. What was the other one?
Stratford?
No, I don't think they do it there anymore. I forgot.
No, Stratford's done.
It's
closed.
anyway. I went there, and I don't know. I guess I'm one of those guys that, I don't like to. I'm worried about embarrassing myself. I don't want to worry about somebody else embarrassing me.
Right.
And here I'm up there, and I think Eric Johnson was up there
Mhm.
playing, and a friend of mine who's not with us anymore was on drums, who I've known, played, but I don't know what he was doing, but it just totally threw me off. He walked right off the stage.
So it's either the Babylon or it was Maggie
Babylon,
Malone's.
that was it,
Yeah,
Babylon.
Babylon, yeah.
And I'm sure a couple of those guys, like Eric Johnson, to this day, refer to me as the asshole guy because I walked up. I'm like, oh well,
Probably, it's probably not as big of a deal as you think. But I mean,
Right.
sometimes you just don't want to deal with it, and it's
Right.
like, you know what? You're not even paying attention.
I don't like to look silly when I'm doing that because I don't know. I battle myself a lot of times when I am up there. Like you said, talking about getting nervous and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
It's like, there's always doubts going through your head. Am I going to be able to do this? Can I do this? And then, but once you start getting into it, then it just happens.
Right. But you also have to remember that, St. Louis has got the most unique and the best, I think, music community.
Oh, hell yeah.
Regardless if there's assholes or not, I've seen everybody pulled together at the last minute. I've done a shit ton of benefits, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if I've got, bands that hate each other or certain
Yeah.
certain musicians that don't like each other. They still come together,
Yeah.
do their thing, and there's no bullshit, no issues. They leave the hate at the door and leave all the crap at the door, and they do pull together when it comes to stuff like that.
When those
It's
benefits
amazing.
when those benefits hit, and they're usually not for a good reason, but there's a little kid in me going, God, it's gonna be there. All these guys.
That's all good.
Yeah,
But
it's like-
that's the greatest thing about it.
And because none of us really ever get to hang out with each other because we're always usually playing.
But it's cool. I mean, you get to hang out and Usually when you do them on Sundays, when everybody's like, and it's not, there's no stress, no pressure, nobody's yelling, about anything.
Yeah,
So
everybody's got the mind focus that they're there for a purpose. They're not
Right.
there to, check your egos at the door.
and it's really, and there's nothing else going on but that. And if you make a mistake, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
Right. In some cases, it's not.
I mean, and we're all forgiving. I've seen some of the best stop in the middle. They'll start a song, it's like, no, this sucked, quit, stop, and they'll just start over. And it's not a big deal. They'd rather just start over and do it right instead of trying to muddle through whoever,
Right.
whatever. So,
I did that
because it
once
happens sometimes.
when I was like 29 years old. I was playing at Kennedy's
Kennedy's,
with
yeah.
my original band, Unbroken. But guess what happened? We broke up.
Who was in that band with you?
We-
Do you remember?
Huh?
You remember who was in that band with you?
No, actually, there was a couple guys all the way out from Pacific. I used to have to go out Pacific and rehearse with these guys, and they were about 7, 8 years younger than me. So they were just like turning 21. But
Right.
we actually played there the first time without a bass player. And guess who jumped up on stage with us? Jeff Gallo.
God love him.
Didn't know the songs, and I forgot who he was.
It doesn't matter. He could. Back in the day, he could wing through anything, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
and
he's
he
he's
made
got a
us
great
sound
stage
good.
presence anyway. So
But you're talking about, starting it over that, but I remember I forgot the lyric. This is 29. I was a late bloomer in the band scene. Didn't discover that I could sing till I was like 24. Because before that time, I was trying to play guitar, and my heart just really wasn't into it as much as I wanted it to be. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna run with this one. You gotta pick up less stuff anyway.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I just
Load
gotta
it.
buy a microphone. Yeah.
Right. Load in, yeah. He sits
Sometimes
down.
I didn't have a microphone. Like, you got a microphone, I can use it. Damn, Towns, can't you at least do that? But I right over, I forgot a lyric right in the middle of the song, and I went, oh shit, right over the mic.
Yeah.
Oh shit, like I forgot, like, no, that wasn't part of the lyric.
Did anybody notice?
The band did.
But otherwise,
And I got my ass chewed up. Don't ever do that again. I said, well, now I know what to do. Now that I'm an experience. If I forget a word, which is frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Steven Tyler said it best. If you forget a word, you just mumble something or make some shit up.
right.
Just as long as it kind of sounds like what people used to.
People, there's a few singers that still do that because I've seen it. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not pointing fingers, but I've seen it. It was only in a jam night. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. No, it's seriously. I mean, not
Remember,
every.
that's what amazes me about John Shannon. It's like the guy's
Oh,
a
that-
walking library encyclopedia of, it doesn't matter what kind of music it is, what style, that guy knows, and he knows it all by heart.
He does.
I'm lucky I can remember my full name by heart sometimes.
And he's got a range. I mean, nobody can touch him when he does Alice in Chains. I mean, it's like, that's a Shanahan song. I've heard other people try to do Man in the Box. No, it's a Shanahan song. Don't do it.
That's my demon song. I'll never touch that song as long as I live.
But no, he's got a great range.
It's
He's freaking
really
awesome.
weird because when you get to that part, I can do that just fine right there. I get up to the mic, the wind ain't there, and I sound like somebody's choking a chicken.
So, John, where did you start out with your music? Where did you study music? Can you read and write it like in school,
Yes,
or
I actually did. I start.
like the 6th grade where you got the recorder and went through band?
8th grade or 7th grade saxophone.
Awesome.
That was actually one of the worst instruments I could have ever played because I had dental work done. And I found this out when I was like in my early 20s. My dentist was looking at my front teeth and said, "We got to say talking to Tony. He said, well, you played a woodwind instrument. You should have never done that."
Right.
You have Freddie Mercury teeth?
I broke these front two teeth. They're
Oh.
capped, but that's another tale. But anyway, yeah. So I learned saxophone when I was in 7th grade. Then I was always obsessed with guitar from watching MTV.
Right.
Seeing those early videos of like Def Leppard and Iron Maiden. Def Leppard's
Right.
Was it Bring On the Heartbreak, which was on the first year.
Right.
Iron Maiden's Run to the Hills, and then Red Barchetta by Rush, just blowing my mind. Triumph. Judas Priest.
Eddie, don't forget Eddie.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
nobody can touch Eddie.
Yeah.
Nobody can touch Eddie. No way, no way.
Yeah, Van Halen, Kiss. And there is, I have like 800 CDs and I listen to all of them. And that's the joke. If people say, "Oh, I listen to the same 5 songs over." It's like me, I have 9,000 songs in my CD, and if I hear the same one twice in a year, I skip it.
Right.
So yeah, I started playing guitar. Then I took one semester of studying music theory in high school, and I was thinking about studying music in college. But the problem is, my high school theory teacher was very blunt on it. It's like, you want to study music in college, you better spend the next year or two practicing piano hard, because I was no good at it. So they're kind of like, nah, I don't think I'll study it in college then.
Oh my gosh.
But I still, I just kept practicing guitar, kept writing songs, I was in a cover band scene back in Indiana, when I was in my early 20s, and then I moved here, and then that's when it.
Which was just last year.
Right. So what's the scene like in Indiana? Like, it's not like here where, back, what year was it you moved here?
I moved here in 2006.
2006. Well, back in the 80s were off the chain because of the landing. I mean, every venue had a band. And on the and especially on the landing, you could see any original band. You could see original bands. People died to see original bands. The Urge,
King of the Hill,
Broken Toys. Whatever era it was. I mean, all these bands that were still doing original music. People still packed all these bars. But there wasn't a bar in town on the weekend that did not have a band in it, regardless of what they were doing. And it's still got that mindset. We still try to get every, whatever bars are left. Now, unfortunately, COVID screwed everything up, but still, there's always, you could go somewhere to see live music, regardless if it's solo, duo, a full band, an orchestra.
The Cleveland landing days.
Oh, I know. It's
man.
a ghost town.
Yeah,
now.
Especially during 4th of July.
Yeah, the funny thing is, by the time I got here, I thought St. Louis was happening, but I was on the decline because Indy was just totally falling. They've been falling apart, for their music scene started falling apart. I would say about 2000. There's a reason why, other than John Mellencamp, you don't really know of any bands out of Indiana.
Right.
Just original bands could never gain any kind of traction.
But what people don't understand, I mean, it's all original music. I've got an app you can download on Live 365. I think that's what it's called. It's STL Roar, and it's got all my original music collection, and it goes back to the 70s because I'm old. And it's about, let's see, last time I counted, it's about a month's worth of music. A month. If you had 30 days of music nonstop, it's got all the genres. I've got. My favorite thing that I've got on there is Jimmy Griffin doing acoustic, 10 songs of his own acoustic for KDHX. They taped it at Cicero's. I think it was 2005, and it's Jimmy on a guitar doing.
I love that guy.
He's amazing.
He was in King of the Hill, right?
He was in King of the Hill.
That was fun.
The Curables is his original band after all that. But
He's been a guy I've admired for his guitar playing. I'll leave it at that. For his guitar playing, his stage presence, and everything.
He's a little political sometimes. Let's say he's political.
Yeah,
His
we've
politics.
had a couple disagreements, but they were gentlemanly.
Right.
Mainly because I didn't want him to hate me forever. I wanted him to acknowledge me every now and then.
Oh yeah, no, he's another one of those evil geniuses when it comes to playing.
But,
I mean, he's amazing.
That guy is,
Yeah, because I remember 1991 when they broke out.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the music clubs, I think it was BMG, made them, was the selection of the month, and I had a friend who said, "Man, you gotta hear this by King of the Hill." I never, the problem is I heard it once and never heard it again, never found it in a store. Living in Indiana, and then suddenly, 2 decades later or whatever, saw him, playing, what was that? Del Mar Hall, yeah.
Del Mar.
And I was like, wow, I remember this stuff. I heard it one time. Could never. It was same with Anacrusis. I had a friend.
Kevin Hyderer. Yeah.
Was a big, thrash metal fan. Same period of time, and I know he had, because we're living in just college roommates. I remember, lots of him being lots of thrash. Hearing something was like, what's this? Oh, this is Anacrusis. Awesome.
Yeah, they're
another
the
one.
shit.
years,
Yeah.
we go by and say, oh, whatever happened to Anacrusis? Look for them in stores. Nope, never found it.
Do you know where you can find it now in
I
St.
got
Louis?
all 4 of them, yeah. Yeah, I got all
Walter
4.
Ray, City Warehouse.
All right,
Shout out to
there you
Walter.
go.
God love him. I love that guy. And Joe Smith has got Joe's Records. Yeah, Joe Smith, frontman for Throw the Horns. And Queen's Right tribute.
Does the Sammy too, doesn't
And he does Red, yeah, for Sam. He's freaking.
he? Has
Now,
mega times.
oh my, his range. I mean, he could hold a note and go eat a sandwich and come back and still have the note going. It's like, oh, I mean,
Is that
he's
the
a-
same? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he also in 7th of Never? Is that or is that someone different?
Yeah, no, that's Joe's dad, isn't it?
Joe Smith's dad?
I'm trying to think that the singer for Throw the Horns and the Queen's Right Fury.
Yeah, I thought he was the singer for 7th of Never.
But Joe Smith, is there a
Joe,
junior?
Joe W. Smith, no. He's got, his kids are like teenagers.
I
What are you thinking of?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm trying.
I don't believe
do that a lot.
He's on 7th of Never. But,
Yeah, I think the singer for Queen's Right Tribute, that's the singer.
it's
okay.
Joe, yeah, and he does Red
Joe
too.
Smith. There's another guy, but he's a little bit beefier than who we're talking about.
Who are you talking about? You talking about Steve Hall?
No, not Steve Hall. I know who Steve Hall is. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm just gonna stay.
Have another beer or
Yeah.
smoke some more
Another
weed.
shot.
Yeah, a little. You want another shot? Have another shot. Knock yourself out. Tweezy, you want another shot? One night I brought in. What did we have? Jim Beam. What was it? Yeah, it was American
That's all I
Honey.
need. I'm done.
We had American Honey in here.
I had
one
to do
night.
one or two with you.
It's all good. Here, I still have some in this one.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yes, thank you. 2 years.
Actually, I stay away from our stuff because it just doesn't agree with me.
That's right. That's good. And we have to give a shout out to Bunny, Miss
Bunny,
Bridget.
yeah,
Yes.
I think she might be
We
watching. too.
love you. I love you. You're so lucky. You are so lucky.
I am. She's
His
been-
wife is the bomb. She is so cute.
She's been a big blessing in my life.
She has.
And this guy and my guys in my cover band, Bad Tattoo. Cheap plug, January 7th, I'm in Music Hall.
I was going to ask about that. You can do your shameless plugs all you want. Bad Tattoo, who's in it?
Grant Becker.
Right.
Rick Ulrich, who used to be in a band called Bent back in the day.
Right.
They're a punk rock band, played in Mississippi National. That used
Yep.
to sell out the place. And then I got Tim Jones. So Rick Ulrich and Tim Jones on guitar, Grant Becker on bass, who's probably going to wind up being HellTown Saints bass player. We pretty much already recruited him, but
Oh, cool.
so whenever we get that band together, we're going to do it before we grow. We got to. There's no point in putting all his music out there.
We need more 8-tracks, man.
Yeah, more 8-tracks.
And you got to do one vinyl.
And then, let's see.
If somebody wants to bankroll it, I am all for it.
Yeah. And then we got Paddle Day on drums, and then me on vocals, and all these guys did it. You know, from the start of my wife, which we just had our 6-year anniversary, December 13th.
Oh, awesome.
And since that day, everything's just been falling into place for me throughout the last few years.
That's
you know,
good.
Especially, because I was playing hard and heavy with Mike Matthews' project for off and on for 8 years, but for the last 2 years of that, we were playing 4 nights a week, 3 nights a week, sometimes twice in one day in 100-degree weather. And it was rough. You never knew what mic you were going to get from one day to the other. I learned. I've been under his wing for 8 years, and
Right.
I'm grateful. He's opened up a lot of doors for me. A lot of doors.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be with this guy, or I probably wouldn't be with these guys, because they actually saw me with Mike Matthews at Charlotte, and this was about the time I was just burnt.
Right.
They're like, man, you want to come check this out, man? I'm like, no, dude, I'm about done for a while. And I did, and I took about 3 years away from the cover scene when we worked on our album together. And we took our time at that and got to know each other, because when we first started, we didn't really know much about each other now, so. And I kind of drug his ass around with my procrastination just to make sure he wasn't wasting my time, and I'll still let him know I wasn't wasting his.
And while you're dragging him around, he just keeps writing more lyrics, right? He just
I
keeps
just keep
writing more
writing stuff,
songs.
yeah, that's it. It's like I I had, for the second disc that's coming out, I had so, because of COVID, I had so much time to write it. I recorded them, like, I would record it once and, like, this is good, I can do it better. So I would just re-record everything. And I'd say, you know what, this can do better. Okay, I'm going to re-record everything. Okay, these are the demo versions.
This guy's a genius. He is the brains of the.
That's awesome.
And then I gave him what would be the finalized versions of it. Then I said, you know what, I'm going to re-record a bunch of stuff on. Now we have finalized versions that are ready for voice and drums.
Well,
That's
that's
all. I
cool.
always made the joke, on our first album. I said he dumbed down for me. This album, he's really making me think because I had to watch an episode of Star Trek.
Star Trek to get it. That's cool. That's awesome.
But everything's been falling into place, and it's great. We got our.
Yeah, well, one thing I did differently,
That's how I met him too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I say one thing that's different about the second disc. The first disc is very much thought of, okay, could a four-piece band play this exactly? I didn't. It was like I threw that out the window. I was like, I don't. I'm gonna play stuff out here that sounds right, and I'll figure out how to play.
Some of it, a good portion of it's just straightforward hard rock, And
Right.
he's a very, influenced by progressive, the Dream Theaters. I got to meet Geddy Lee because of this guy. It's a relationship. It's built up. Even just like it with my guys. That's how I met John. I remember I was playing in Charlotte again with Mike Matthews, and he comes up to me, and we'd already been talking. He's like, "Let's start writing together," and that's when that happened.
That's cool.
We
That's
haven't
awesome.
stopped since. We've had to stop a few times.
Because you forgot, right?
No, COVID.
I know,
and
everything
then,
else.
And then there's just personal issues in our own lives, that slow things down, and then my procrastination.
And then your breath, yeah, exactly.
But this guy's a blessing to me. I've always wanted to put out, a whole CD. I've done recordings of stuff here and there, a song that I wrote or something, but never like this. And I learned a lot through the whole thing.
That's awesome. Now, there's a friend of mine. His name is Steve Schindler. Got to give him a shout out because he's living. You guys know Steve? He has a badass studio in St. Peter's. It's in his basement of his house. And he says, and I'm going to say this because he said he built it with his cocaine money. Let's just put it out there.
I don't know nothing about that stuff.
Well, it was his friends. He was holding it. Yeah.
Holding it in my nose.
This
and
was
my
just,
lungs.
back in the day. But anyway, in this studio, he wants to do a show kind of like, what's his name? God dang, I feel like an idiot now. Hall & Oates. Daryl's Place. You ever seen that show? Daryl's Place?
Never heard of it.
It's Daryl's Place is basically it's Daryl Hall, and he's got a studio where artists come in and they just jam and they tell stories.
I've seen
It's
some of that.
CeeLo Green is my favorite guest on his show because
He did some stuff with Sammy Hagar, I think.
oh my, it's hilarious. I mean, that's all they do. They talk a little bit, but it's more just jam music. It's just all these different musicians coming in. It's really cool. So if you go to Steve's house now, when he records, he's got every instrument in there. He's a bass player, so he's got several bass players, but he's got 2 drum sets. One's electric and one isn't. And when he records or does mixing, he records each artist separately.
Yeah, that's how.
And then puts it together like you were talking about earlier. So, I mean, he's a brain you want to pick, or he will, give you a discount or whatever if you want to record something or lay down some tracks. It is amazing. His studio is pristine.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I haven't been there, but I've seen pictures of it.
Yes, I mean he's got everything. Is just it's gorgeous. I mean there's not a speck of dirt anywhere. It's just so everything's just so. And he's got the best, coolest microphone collection. It's on the show. Yeah, you should see it. It's all really really cool. But yeah, he's got tons of memorabilia because he's been in the music scene forever and a day. But he's good buddies with Gene. What's Gene's last name? Gene
Simmons?
No, Gene Guzman. Who doesn't love Gene Guzman? Oh, he's so awesome. Gene, I can't think of his last name. With the Aardvarks. Gene starts with a B. I've talked to him. He's one of my Facebook friends. I can't think of it. But anyways, the Aardvarks are supposed to be getting back together, supposedly. But they said this about 4 years ago, so we'll see.
I'm not familiar with the Aardvarks.
The Aardvarks? Really? Oh, man, they're badass.
I mean, the name actually, that kind of vaguely sounds familiar to me, but I can't think of it. But
Yeah, they
I'll
were.
definitely check them out.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome. They're from back in the day. But, before 8 tracks.
Yeah.
But
Can
you have
see
to.
it now, 50 years from now, some kid going, I'm podcast old.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Right,
Yep.
exactly. But no, you should, but you ought to consider, you have to at least do one vinyl. You gotta at least do one vinyl.
Oh, us?
Yes.
Oh,
If we
hell,
could
that
do-
would be great.
Well, that's the thing. We could basically transfer what we have over to vinyl. The problem is
Money.
is just the cost of getting it.
So here's what you need to do, and here's what you need to add to your vinyl, is you get these musicians around town, George Patsos, Frankie,
Awesome. Those
Jimmy
are good.
Griffin, get all these guys and have them guest appear on one of your songs. Get George on bass on one of them, and they'll do it, or Crowell, whatever, because it will sell
Maybe
more.
Jimmy Griffin, he'll come and hang out with us.
Yes, he will.
I know Patsos will.
Yeah, George
And,
will.
and Frankie, God, I would.
He was on my show 2 weeks
I
ago.
just seen that. I've been trying. I seen it
He is
on
the
the
bomb.
Facebook thing, but I've been trying to find it on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's under it's also on my page. Just go to STL
That
Roll.
guy, I've been following that guy.
Frankie is the bomb dig. I have known
We
him
go
forever.
back to the Hazelwood West. days.
Yes, he's a sweetheart.
He took my switch dance date too, man. Angie Bruno.
Well, go get him now.
He had pink hair at the time too.
It doesn't matter. It's Frankie.
Right,
It
that's
doesn't.
what I was like.
He can pull anything off.
That's right.
He
I did
is-
say that. I was like, well, if you're gonna get dumped, at least get dumped because of
You
Frankie.
got dumped by a man with style. I mean,
Right.
come on.
Oh,
He's not some
absolutely.
slacker for sure.
No, he is not.
He is number one. He is
I mean,
awesome.
there's times that
You can also
there's-
ask him too. He produces. So he's got studios. He's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, that guy's.
But yeah, he's
phenomenal.
great. And well, go out to School of Rock. He opened up one in St. Peter's.
Yeah, I heard
And
that.
he's always looking for musicians. I think he's got George working out there, teaching bass.
Wow.
And when I ask him about the music, and he picks the music, and some of it is, they have like a program as far as what's easy to teach kids and stuff. But they all have to learn the songs, and they have to put, stuff together. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the hell of a way to pay something forward, especially with his history.
Yeah, I mean,
In 25 years with Dr. Chevegas, I mean, they're worldwide. They're world famous.
Yeah.
You cannot beat that with a
And
stick.
it's funny, I'm not a dancer. Vance don't dance.
But when
but
Dr.
when I
Z
go-
shows,
when I'm at
you
Dr.
can't help
show,
it.
I'm standing there and trying to be cool.
You can't help it. No, you can't. I mean, everything he touches turns to gold. He's got the
and
Midas
that's
touch.
really, God bless him. I mean,
He's a sweetheart too.
I'm glad for all those guys' success. It's
And they're all still friends. They all still, keep up with each other and all that. So which is
that
kinda
band
cool.
was a huge.
All of
part
them
my
were.
life.
It
Even
was
today
Broken
they
Toys,
are, but-
Broken Toys, King of the Hill, and then they went on and did. I don't know if Frankie was in it or not, but I know George, Hell in a Handbasket,
Yeah, I remember that one.
and then but then they had a bunch of music that I got from George that never got released.
Hell in the Handbasket. That was George Potts.
That was
Vito,
George.
Bono. I feel weird saying that.
Vito Bono. Yeah. And then
Jimmy Griffin, and there was this singer. I don't know who he was.
I
But
can't
I
remember
think
what.
he's passed away since then. But I forget he had long dark brown hair.
I can't remember who it was, but
Good looking guy. I mean, he had stage presence, and he had what the girls liked. Saying that in the most heterosexual way I can. In spite of all the rumors out there, I've been happy.
we
Once
don't
or twice.
judge.
I've been happy once or twice.
If you make Tweezy laugh, that's good, cause yeah. Oh my God,
I
that's
think I've made him
hilarious.
laugh a couple times.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's a quiet guy, but he's listening.
But
We
yes,
gotta give
that's-
we gotta give a shout out to Tweezy because he's the
So yeah, that's how me and him met. We actually met at Charlotte. I mean, we didn't meet at Charlotte, but we kind of signed the dotted deal. for
Yeah.
where we're at to now, which is great. I get to be heard on the radio and
And you're doing KGF Rocks
KGF rocks. Yeah.
with Mr. Kohler.
Yeah. Top
Who
Who doesn't love Todd?
Yeah, we get to pretend to be like our real signed band, and you get out there and be a
That's
cover
right,
band, and
that's
actually
right.
get Next, get paid.
Yeah, we
it's
gotta
weird.
give a shout out to Todd because Todd is he's been doing this forever and day. I got to be on his show once. It was what did he call it?
Conjugal visit.
Yes, I did a
Yes.
conjugal
I
visit,
was on that once.
and he's funny. He's hilarious.
Yeah, that's how that all started. Was me and him doing an interview like we're doing right now on his show,
Mhm.
and it was like the last one we did was like maybe 4 or 5. Well, it was about 6 months ago because I've been doing it almost 5 months, and it was about a month later. He's like, "You ever thought about being a DJ?" And I said, "I've thought about doing a lot of things."
I just got to get off my ass and do
I
it.
just never thought about being, yeah, that thought crossed in my mind. And I said, that would be kind of cool. And I said, Rob Boyer do it, but I'm like, I'm not a Rob Boyer though. He just came off as a real natural when he was doing it.
Yeah, he did it. He did it for about 6 months.
Yeah, and then poof, it was gone. But he did a lot of promoting for us during that time with Revolver, and it was really cool.
Mhm.
He put on a good show. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing it. It's I get to play our stuff all the time. And I
That's
found
good.
out too that we're on regular rotation, and we were actually listening to KGF Rocks barbecuing with my next door neighbor Willie about 6 months ago, and we're listening to it outside, and all of a sudden headlights come
Oh,
on.
yeah?
I'm going. I literally stopped, and I'm going. Where do I know that song from?
Yeah,
That's me.
Well, so I'll throw your music into my mix. So
Awesome.
you'll be in
Alright.
there.
Yeah, what's
So,
really funny is what was it? The Viper station.
Yeah, they
Top
played.
Tier Rock.
Yeah, I had did some of my original instrumental recordings. Was it Fish said, just send me a CD and I'll play one. So I did this, and he told me like, yeah, we played this time, whatever. But of course, they're such a low budget station, I couldn't actually pick it up where I was.
Right. Well, because they're out in friggin' Woodsville.
Yeah.
Or like St. Louis, actually.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, I guess if you're standing outside, like, with got rabbit ears, I mean, you could, as far as I've gotten listening to them was Little past Creve Coeur.
Yeah.
But when you get to Tower Grove, it's like,
Yeah,
you lose them.
I was listening to Maryland Heights at the time, and yeah, I could barely pick up. Hey, my song got played.
Yeah, we got played on that.
Yeah.
I had to go to the opening jam to do that too.
Yeah.
When it was at Maggie's or when it was at Babylon?
It was at Babylon.
Babylon, yeah.
Yeah, that was what was the name of that? Yeah. Great location.
Great location in Wentzville. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
They did
Yeah,
that too.
that's how I met Fish. Yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah, but but you can still pick up. I mean, you just get on the internet and listen to Viper.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta have it'll eat your battery up for sure. But
I know. I always joke. It's like, yeah, I got played on a real life WKRP.
Yeah.
Low budget,
It's
low
like
power.
Al said
Yeah.
here. Let's do a U-turn and go back up.
I'm not gonna hear my song. It sounds better in the radio. That's cool. That's awesome. I know Jeremiah Johnson has talked about that. He when he made it to Billboard, his music is on Sirius Radio. So that would be just how amazing would that be? You're on Sirius Radio.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, a lot of those guys, like Tony Campanella and Zach Perry and all them, they're on, which, like, back to
Zach Perry.
briefly, huh?
What's he on?
He's on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
What did I say?
You said Zach Perry.
I what?
You said Zach Perry. Zach Perry.
What?
Go ahead. You said he's on Amazon Music?
And then
His music on, yeah. Well, his name is actually Perry Zacharias, and I went to high school with him.
Oh, Perry Zachariah.
But he goes by Zach Perry, and I was like,
Do
what?
that. That's easy.
Yes. I used to manage his band. We all had the
Yeah,
same
oh,
tattoo
yeah.
on our little finger. It's a treble clef.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Anyway,
I play one of his songs.
Which one?
Keep Life Simple.
Oh, God.
That's a great song.
You know, the first-
I downloaded some of his other stuff, but I can't get it to transfer. I gotta have MP3s.
Right.
And the main thing about my show in KGF Rocks is I try to showcase.
I can send it to you because I have a master's. I'm the
Awesome.
one who produced
You
both
got a
of
lot of
I
stuff
produced
in
no, I produced their CDs, but the
Awesome.
last two.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That's
lots of
that's
things.
another story.
Yeah. Pull a rabbit out
But
of the
anyway, so yeah, if there's some music you want, let me know. I will definitely.
Yeah, I'd like to get any local regional.
You got all Conquest stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
And you've got, just whatever you need. Just let me know.
I almost thought about bringing my little external hard drive with my 1 terabyte, but I didn't.
Oh.
Because I didn't want to impose. But next time.
You're gonna impose? Okay, you can do it. No, we could share music if you want.
Yeah, I'd
You
love
can
to
dump
do
it
that.
on mine, and
Because I like to showcase St. Louis, and that's the big thing with me, because I've connected with a lot of my musician friends in St. Louis, and I'm like, hey, I always let them know, I'm networking, and I'm letting, hey, I'm doing this, I'm playing this right now. Randy Hetley, he's practically my neighbor, he
God love him.
got to hang out with him for about an hour, drinking a couple beers and downloading his stuff. I turned him onto a little bit. He's just like, what the hell is that guy doing? I was like, you ought to try playing with him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I literally
I work
looked at
Local 6 with him as a stagehand. He is something else, but yeah, he's just a doll.
I literally looked at that guy one time because I was actually in the same basement in his house with him on one side of me, Pat Shook on the other.
Oh my God! Did you just melt? Your
Adams
face
on-
melted
yeah,
right
yeah,
there when they were
Casey-
playing.
Yeah, we did some.
I already
Zeppelin.
know.
We did the Lemon song from Zeppelin, and that was, and then I had, I think his name's Tony Martin on bass, who we even kind of improvised in one of his songs called Morse Code. We were talking about that because impressing those guys. A guy like me, because like I said, to make a long story short, I only looked at him and I said, man, I'm going back and listening to my Poison album. Screw this shit. What the hell are you guys talking another language? I mean, they were yelling out chords to each other that I'm like, I don't really, I was a music major for a year, and like when it got to theory, I'm like, I'm out of here. I watched Danny Schwartz. You know Danny Schwartz by any chance? Long time. I was in school with him at Flow Valley. We were both music majors.
Oh no shit!
He was way ahead of me. I literally sat there and watched this guy in one of those little booths with a Beethoven or a class, that kind of music, opera music, with a blank music set, and had to sit there and write everything, cancellation, sharp, flat, blah blah blah, as he was listening on the blank music.
Right.
I'm like,
Yep.
I went back to the words of Iggy Pop. Screw that, I don't have to reinvent Bach.
It was just to get you to hear the notes.
But I was like,
you
I'm
already
like,
know what
"Dude,
the exercise was for.
And he was in that band with Tough Nuts back in the day.
Oh
with
my
that
God.
Police officer, undercover guy, I forgot his name.
You're talking about.
He was just jumped by.
You're talking about Francis Gomez, drummer for Paint the Earth, and
No.
for
Remember the band? They were called Tough Nuts.
yes, I remember the band.
And Danny Schwartz, he was the only white guy in the band.
Yes.
But the bass player, he's a police officer now, and it was just recently, he was the one in St. Louis that was undercover during those riots, and he was the one that was jumped by police officers. in
Oh
St.
no
Louis.
shit.
I forgot his name. I actually saw him not too long, a few years back. I was like, holy cow, last time I seen you, you were playing at Metal's Edge.
Right.
Now
Metal's
you're a
Edge.
police officer? He goes, yep.
Holy shit. Metal's Edge, man, I miss.
I think the Patron's kicking in.
You think?
Mm.
I like Metal's Edge. I loved Animal House.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Illinois bars, Stages, Granny's Rocker, Wood River, Music Room, just all those great.
Yeah,
fucking
seeing them
venues.
now is heartbreaking.
If they're even there.
Breaking.
Breaking.
And you go down by where Animal House, Club 367, it's just like, just tear it down.
I know. It's sad.
Mississippi Nights, just tear it down.
But no, they won't.
Yeah, my cousin's band played there. That was the first.
What band was that?
That was Iron and Wine.
Iron and Wine.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny thing because it was like they were very much a hipster appealing band, so it was like totally full of hipsters, and you had people yelling, and you had people saying, "Shh, quiet," because a lot of the stuff was unplugged. It was almost comedic at times.
Yeah, Mississippi Nights was fun when Dichotomy was there. I mean, not Mississippi Nights, Muddy Waters. Dichotomy, remember Dichotomy, the band Dichotomy?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, they were the ones. There was the
For me not to know something.
Dichotomy at Muddy Waters. When you walked into Muddy Waters, the band, there was a bald guy who was heckling anybody who walked in the door. And it was a guy walked in with a hot chick. He was all over the hot chick and talking about, what are you doing with this guy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he was freaking hilarious.
Well, I don't remember that.
You don't remember Dichotomy? I think there's only a couple of people left still alive in that band. It was really sad, but they were great. They were hilarious. I mean, it was always a show. You remember the Sheiks?
No.
You don't remember the Sheiks? Oh my God!
You'll have to turn me on to them.
Oh my God!
Can we get a pee break here?
Do you want one?
Yeah.
Well, let's play track number 3 and 4 and 5.
All
I'll
right.
take a little pee break, okay?
Yeah, come on. I need a smoke break.
You need a smoke break. You need a Patron break too?
No, I'm done now.
Episode 92, STL Roar, mycitymymusic.com. HellTown Saints are in the house. We got Vance and John, and we're going to listen to a few of their songs. Hopefully it's going to play.
Revolution has ended, the elite still rule the day. Revolution has ended, never know who will betray. A civil war, death sentence, took control, they wanted more. Gave the world anarchy, losing love and liberty. Revolution has ended, every price to pay. Revolution has ended, at the dawn of a new day. Told the world to win their fears, promised peace for 1,000 years. Sold the world security, the price was our liberty. Time to die in an endless fight. count. So high, so low. so I live in hell. Running mad in the streets, crippling with the beat. Many wrongs, no right, had a grip and held tight. Dead diary wasteland riding, the forgotten trash. Replayed in your head, the devil had a good laugh. Molded to the chapters, the bed that you had made. Isolation consumes you and there's nothing more to break. Oh. Okay, that was close. Body beat against the ropes. All alone inside my head, hear you saying, my old friend. Always know I'm close. I'm the whisper of your ghost. Made the dreams you once had, feeling good while feeling bad. Dead diary wasteland riding, the forgotten trash. Replayed in our head, the devil had a good laugh. Molded to the chapters, Father, mother, tell me how to live this life. Father, Father, tell me I'm scared inside. A moment to live for. Who are we to see? A moment to live for. Blinded, I will bleed. Oh, met a lucky man the other day. How we escaped by bullets, he missed the grave. I just looked and wondered as he shook his hand and said, something to live for. Who are you to see? Something to live for. You're blinded, I will bleed. Something to live for. Who are we to see? A moment to live for. Wash away we'll bleed. Something to live for. Moment to live for. Something to live for.
Whoa, that was awesome. Here's your audience. We don't have to feed on things like music, that's all. I just hit the button and there they are.
That's the best pause we've had so far.
Nobody's throwing anything, nobody's yelling, nobody said you did it wrong. You missed a lyric.
Nobody said Freebird.
We had to
Exactly.
throw a sock at them if they did that.
Oh man, how did I yell? Oh, I went to see Bitter Pill this weekend, and I haven't seen them forever. I mean, they were
Yeah.
one of the last bands to hold out as far as COVID. Two of the band members have got small children, so they didn't go out when everybody else started going back out and playing. So they kind of held back and said, "No, we're not going back out." But those guys are great.
Yeah.
That's a very
Jeff
cohesive.
Braun, love that
Jeff
guy.
Braun is a bomb. I mean, but the whole, they're very cohesive. All
Yeah.
four of those guys are like
Yeah.
brothers. They're just freaking awesome.
I got to catch a couple of their clips from the Diamond thing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Bad Tattoo will be at Diamond Music Hall January 7th.
One more time, Bad Tattoo is going to be at Diamond Music Hall January 7th.
January 7th.
Are you? Is by yourself? Or you playing?
No,
Who?
there's an opening original band called the 45.
Oh my God, you're gonna love the. If you have not heard the 45s, they're
I
freaking
played
the
a
bomb
couple of their
dick.
songs
Yes.
on my show.
Very good.
And, yeah.
Aren't they great?
They're awesome.
Yes.
And I've been talking to one of the guys. I even asked him, which one am I talking to? And
Right.
They still haven't told me which one I'm talking to.
They're all the same. Oh
But
my God.
yeah, they're opening the show.
Right.
The show starts at 8.
Okay.
And they're opening the show, and then
Tickets in advance, is it Eventbrite? Is that who they go through?
Eventbrite, yeah.
Okay.
It's always best to go on Eventbrite to
Yes.
get a ticket there. Which I already got my Striper tickets.
Yay.
Did you hear about that one?
No, I didn't.
That was the big.
Guess who's opening?
Who?
Conquest.
Conquest is opening for Striper, yes.
How awesome is that?
Good for them.
I heard about it before it came out.
Yeah,
Because
did
I kind of
too.
know a few people.
Yeah, I did too. I actually bought my tickets.
Yes.
It's safe to say now.
Yes.
I bought my tickets because they accidentally posted it, and then Johnny's getting back to me. We're not supposed to announce this yet. And I'm like, I just bought tickets.
Right.
So I got an instant refund back. And then the next day they were there, and I'm
Wow.
like, can I announce it now?
Right, right.
Yeah, we already did.
It was some kind of, red tape kind of thing, and it wasn't really.
That's I got to meet Striper
Mhm.
in Nashville, Tennessee. I used to date a girl, Marsha Clarkson. I'm sure you know her, and she knows all the rock stars.
Right.
Almost got to meet Def Leppard, but we broke up before then.
I've done their shows working as a stagehand. If you were a stagehand, you could work those shows.
I
Trust
don't wanna
me.
Work. I just want to meet them.
Oh, they're great guys. They're super nice guys.
No, but meeting Striper was really cool. Hanging out backstage, and me and Michael Sweet and Oz Fox and Marsh were just standing there, and going. And there wasn't nothing to be said. But all of a sudden, Michael goes, "Well, I'm gonna go wash my hands." But that was a thrill, and when I was there too, meeting them guys at the meet and greet where everybody had to stand in line. Lo and behold, guess who walks in? Brian Head Welch from Korn.
Oh my God.
Super nice guy.
Yes.
And then the drummer from Tesla, I don't know his name, he was there. And
The Troy Lucetta?
I think that's his name, yeah, Troy Lucetta. He would know.
Very
Like I said, he's the brains here, not me.
Memorizing stupid things like that.
You just made me sound stupid.
Yeah, it was hell.
I do a fine job of that all my life.
Hey, you were going to ask us about how we got our name.
Yes, how did you get your name? I was gonna ask you that earlier, but we got on another tangent. HellTown Saints, why, what's that about?
You want to tell him?
Well, first four letters of my last name is Hell.
Of course. And
The first
A
4 letters
town.
of mine.
Oh my God.
But it gets
Oh.
it gets funnier because
so who's the saint?
that's the
Bridget.
thing. There are
Bridget is the saint.
Absolutely.
Bunny.
No, it gets funnier because actually we found out there was another band called HellTown.
Yes.
We're like, okay, so let's start throwing random words at this, and then I don't know, we had like five or six different words we threw after it. We were like, okay, Saints.
There's
And
still
then
a bunch of HellTown Saints out
There is a band called Saints of HellTown.
Yeah.
Well,
On the,
there's-
same band camp where we're at.
And we decided, you know what, if they send us a cease and desist letter, great. Not gonna happen.
They're probably not. It's probably not gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. a big
Yeah,
deal.
I mean, at this point in our lives, I mean, I'm sure it's safe to say that we all do this out of the pure enjoyment and gratefulness to be able to still do what we do. And all Mark Prowls, the Anthony Gracias, the Frankies, the Jimmy Griffins. It doesn't matter what level you're at.
Right. Exactly.
We're all there.
Right.
I guess.
It's the one thing. It's the one constant.
Just to be able to do it.
Just to be able to do it and keep doing it as long as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's not about the money. It's just about the fact that it's
No,
something
there is
you
no
love to
money in it.
do. There's not been money in it. There's not been money in it in a long
If
time.
you're doing this for the money,
Yeah, get out.
youngsters,
Right, forget it.
get out.
All right. I mean, now back in the
Just-
day, when MTV was big, it was like they used to have agents that literally came out and said, "Hey, I'm gonna make you a star," and they made him a star, and that was when music
Well,
was.
yeah.
Or
was
they
on
would
American
say,
Idol
yeah, to
now.
make you a star, and they were just looking to extract money out of you.
Well, I mean, but you got to think about it. Back then it was like every musician played every note. We didn't have any electronic crap. We didn't have loopers. We didn't have any of that stuff. We didn't have your instant band in a box like you have. I mean, it wasn't there. I mean, it may have helped, but it had to start somewhere. So
Yeah.
you had these full bands coming in and playing every note. How many takes they had to do for an album? how many takes they had to do for whatever, because things when they recorded it, it wasn't the same as it is now, where they can fix it or
Right.
you know, gloss
Right,
over or
yeah,
whatever.
the auto-tune.
Everything was
everything,
done
you know.
from the, straight
I mean,
from the
the
musician.
most depressing thing I ever seen on video in this day and age, within the last 10 years, is seeing somebody go like this, and then they'll go over here, and they'll go like that,
And noise comes out.
and then they'll come over here and go bling, and then they'll come over here and hit that button, and it's like
Right.
a whole band, and it's like, yeah, but who played that sample?
Exactly. I know.
Who played it?
I know. I know. I don't like some of the.
I mean, it's cool in a way, but it's
sad.
it takes
It's
away
demeaning.
from the whole meaning behind music.
Exactly. I mean,
Music is all about feeling and art. You know, when you can take a paintbrush and fling it across a canvas, and somebody calls that art because it says Picasso on it.
right. Right.
You know.
Exactly.
Can you imagine doing that as a fake paintbrush?
Yes. Yes.
Something
No,
like that.
I mean, the blood, sweat, and tears are just not in it if it's just you just push a button. And I cannot stand some of the crap I've heard on the radio where it's just noise. To me, it's just noise. It's not even an actual instrument playing. It's just noise comes out of a box because somebody's pushed a button and they like the noise. Then they add another button noise, and then it's just like I'm like, really? That is not music to
Like,
me.
check out this beat that somebody else wrote that I wrote.
Exactly. I mean, there's some kind of human touch to it, but when it's just a noise out of a box, that just breaks my heart, but when it's real.
That's why I was saying
true.
earlier, I have hope for the younger generation because they're actually being influenced by the things that we kind of grew up on a little bit,
And their legacies, like their parents or their grandparents or their hero or whoever they liked. And I don't care if they're influenced by Led Zeppelin, and I've heard this before. We've got these new original bands that are coming out that are playing, and they all started out playing riffs from Led Zeppelin or Van Halen or whoever. And that's where they started. That's great. But then they're trying to make their own music, and make something of something. Keep doing
And there's
it.
nothing wrong
Don't
with
let
being
it pass.
influenced and shit like
No.
this, this next
Who was your
album-
Who was your first
No,
influence,
it's
John?
gonna be obvious.
Your first influence when you said I want to play music. Who was the first one that said, you're like, oh, I'm playing guitar? Who
I
was?
think it was it was probably Kiss, but it was basically more just on the hype of them, of just seeing the spectacle. Because I was about 5 or 6, when they broke. So but at least was
Right.
aware and could see bits and pieces of them on TV.
Right.
It's Kiss, and then once MTV broke, it was Triumph caught my ear, and then Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, Judas Priest, Van Halen.
All the classics. What about
Yeah.
you? What about you?
Me?
Yeah. Was it
This
your
is where the
parents?
dumbing down comes.
This
No.
this was your parents. Your first. I was exposed to all genres of music when I was
Believe
a
it or
baby.
not, as a kid, I was into Barry Manilow and Elvis Presley, big time. I used to have many concerts in my room, acting like either one of them in their life.
Partridge Family. The Archies.
And I'm not ashamed. I guess some people, I never. But no, I'm good.
They listen, just like somebody says, I don't listen to the Carpenters. You're lying. Yes, you have. Everybody
then-
loves the Carpenters.
And Kiss was always one of those bands that as a kid you're like, because those are guys at that point in your life, 11 years old, they're kind of almost like superheroes.
Yeah.
Well, but they had a gimmick. It worked, and guess what? They're still talking about it. I like the Mini Kiss. How about the Mini Kiss? Guys? Those guys are it's a shorter version. They're freaking awesome.
But
still,
the whole Kiss
the
and
whole-
Elvis tribute thing has
Yes.
gotten stupid.
Right.
It really has.
It has gotten stupid, but they had what it took because they stood out from everybody else.
Well, yeah, no pun intended, right?
Yeah,
The
no pun
midget.
intended. They literally did. But I've
They
always
stood
said
out.
that they did stood up.
Midgets.
Yes, they but the original sound, from a band, I put this test up to everybody. The last original sound from any band that has ever come out and it was the band that I fell in love with when I first heard them. Ran to school because I was a music creep. The music freak. When I went to school, my friends were like, "Okay, who's the newest band that's out?" And when I ran to school with this band that I heard, I was like losing my mind over. And they're like, "They suck." You know who it was? Rush.
Rush?
I said, "What?" They said they're not going to go anywhere. I said, "No. These three guys are from Canada. The drums are octagon shaped. They're electric. Wait till you hear this." Nobody could stand Geddy Lee's voice. I'm like, "You have no idea what you're talking about."
I think that guy,
But-
the singer from Pavlov's Dog.
Oh,
What's his
David
name?
Surkamp.
David Surkamp. Now that's the only song that I can listen to.
Diane.
Julia.
Julia. I know the girl's name. One of the two, yes.
But you know, here's my sort of related though. You think about this though. Think about when you hear bands like try to cover Rush and they try to sing more melodically and like try to make it work. It doesn't.
Right.
It's like Geddy Lee's crazy, just disjointed vocals.
But
you have to.
But
That's what made Rush work.
And their sound, I mean, if you think about it, they were like one of the last as far as original sound band. I mean, people have covered it, people have, varied from it or whatever, but I mean, Boston had their own sound, REO had their own sound, Van Halen had their own sound, but Rush, I think, and that was in the 70s, mid-70s, when they started to get big. All the nerds like me who loved their band because they were just so, and their songs are just so, and I mean, have you seen my tattoo?
Yep, I saw that.
And the meek shall inherit the earth.
2112. Yep.
The best line in any song ever written. But I mean, it's just, I'm just a freak. I mean, not too many girls like Rush. I mean, it's always been a nerd guy, but it's like, wow, they're just so, ugh.
That's what I was watching. I watch a lot.
But
I'm a YouTube junkie, and I watch a lot of stuff about bands, and I watch a lot of stuff about Rush, and then bands like Anthrax. And it's like, and then every now and then they'll show that clip from the musician's point of view of the stage, and it's like, it's all dudes.
Yeah.
It's a sausage fest.
Right. But we don't care because it's all music. But no,
Right.
seriously. I mean, who else? Rush was, I would think,
But
the
it was
last
like,
one.
What would you call a Taylor Swift show then? I mean, it's
Definitely not a
Oh,
sausage
no,
fest.
that's
If it was a sausage fest and a Taylor Swift show, they're
Or-
probably hanging.
I worked her show. That's the biggest show I ever worked. It took us 5 days to build her stage.
Wow.
And this is crazy. So a regular show that would come in, we would unload about 18, 19 trailers. Let's say it's Def Leppard. 18, 19, 53-foot trailers we would unload of gear, front of the house, lights, sound, whatever they needed, just to set up their show. Metallica had 25 trailers, and that's because they did Busch Stadium. Taylor Swift, are you ready for this? 98 trailers.
What?
98 trailers we had to unload. 3 of them were her wardrobe alone. But she had such big props for her show that, I mean, it was like she had one giant grand piano. It filled the whole trailer, and it had to be loaded in through what they call the elephant doors at the stadium. So it loaded right off the street because we couldn't get it through the
HellTown
doors.
Saints can use the money behind that.
So get this.
I'll
So
just take the budget for catering. I mean,
and every
Bologna
artist
and Twinkies.
every artist that comes into town, they have their own production crew. And then they hire the locals, the local union hall to come in, the stagehands like us to come in and set everything up. So she travels with her production crew is probably about a dozen guys. And the guy who's been there the longest with her has worked for her for 8 years. And that was probably one of the best crews I ever worked with.
Wow.
I mean, they were cool. They were on top of it. Your production crews are key to the whole show. If you got people fighting or they don't know what they're doing, it just creates more havoc,
the people-
and you waste a lot of time. You've got 100+ stagehands working in a city that you've never been in before or whatever. 100 stagehands that you've got to tell.
Those
You
people
need
are the real
do
rock
this.
stars.
So the production crew's got to know what's going on. These guys are, I mean, just top of the notch. The saddest thing about Taylor's show, number one, it took us a week to build her stage, which is not unusual because Guns N' Roses' stage took about that long too. She has a bomb-sniffing dog that travels with her that comes out every hour on the hour while we were building that stage, make sure there are no bombs. And when her show is going on, they send out 4 drones with facial recognition software for her stalkers to make sure they're not in the crowds. She's very untouchable. She's got so many handlers you can't even get near her. And here's the saddest part.
TV people.
So the guy who's been with her the longest has been with her 8 years as a stage guy or the production guy. He's never got to meet her. That's sad. I mean, if I'm the rock and roll star and I've got guys building my stage to make sure my shit looks good, I'm out there saying thank you, thank you, thank you. He's never been able to meet her because she's that untouchable.
That's self-glorification.
That is so sad. That's horrible.
It is. It is.
It's really sad. But then afterwards, when we broke down their show, and I'm like, so where are you guys going next? And he said, oh, well, from here we go to New Orleans, and we go to Japan, and then we go to Australia, and then we go here, we go there. This is she has so much money on just not even the ticket sales, just on the merch alone. When she hit St. Louis, $1 million. Just that show she did. Isn't that amazing?
That's stupid.
That is
But,
just something
that's-
else. That is way.
You know, that's really shallow on her part, you know, because without those people that you don't see that put those shows together, you know, those are the real rock stars, you know. Those are, you know, without them, you know.
And then after her,
8 years and never met her.
He's never got to. He told me, he says, no, we weren't. She's not in touch. She has so many handlers, people around her, managers, whatever. And then after that, we did Kelly Clarkson's show. So get this shit at Enterprise Center. Kelly Clarkson. She
down
has
there,
all of
isn't
us,
she?
all 100 of us line up, and she's thanking. She's walking down the line, thanking, hugging, thank you. I mean, she's just so genuine. You can't. It's like sitting down in the living room with this girl. She's just so cool. I mean, I was like, we don't expect anybody to. We don't expect a parade. We're there to do a job and get the hell out of there.
Right.
But I mean, you know, it's so nice for somebody to say, "Hey, thanks a lot." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And she's just really, really nice.
Yeah,
you know?
she's. You can tell she's a down to earth girl.
She is class act. She is
You know,
class
but,
act.
you know.
Yeah.
I guess I wonder if Taylor Swift ever wonders why it doesn't work out. Like she keeps writing songs about it.
About all of her exes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know how guys are.
But
You know how boys are.
No, I don't.
But you know the thing is, though, we
Don't believe all the rumors. Just because I've hung out with a few of them does not. No.
She might have
Really?
you know, all those songs about ex-boyfriends. She might have just been watching reruns of Seinfeld. Like,
Oh, there you go.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Honey, get down here! I love that whole dynamic with Elaine and David Putty. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was fucking hilarious. We're not broke up. Get here. We're going there. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, so fucking.
Yeah, I just recently
Oh my
rewatched
God.
all of Seinfeld, beginning to end.
And that was a show written about nothing, and it was always about
Yeah.
nothing, and it worked. How
Yeah.
many years were they on the air?
11. Yeah.
Kramer was my favorite one. I just
Oh,
love the way
they're-
he comes through a door.
No, it's only 9, but either way, it's still.
I mean, the way he just walked right in, hey, you know, just oh my God, so hysterical, so funny. It was just amazing. That show was-
The best one was the
puffy shirt.
No,
Yeah.
the chicken sign next door to him. That
The
was,
Kenny Rogers roaster chicken.
Oh,
yeah, right, yeah, that was that was the best one.
I like the soup Nazi. No soup for you.
That was a good one, and you can't forget Elaine's dancing.
Oh my
Yes.
God! It was embarrassing.
watch that
I couldn't
every
stand
now
to
and
watch. It was like I don't
When
know.
I
if it-
need something to perk me up, I go to YouTube.
Full body dry heat.
Pull up Elaine, and there you go.
God. Said she thought she was something. I know. But you know what, son? There's people like that still do that.
I am that guy.
You-
That girl.
Unless it's Dr. Shevegas, unless it's Frankie
If it's
singing
Dr.
right, then you're.
If it's Dr. Shevegas, I got my groove going on. I'm going, hey, Frankie, look at me, man. I keep up
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, it was hilarious. I just can't believe it. But yeah, this show was about nothing, and it really was. It was just
Yeah, that was kind of the pilot, wasn't it?
That was it was a show about nothing, and it ended up being that way. It was
And the end of
hysterical.
the man was like, let's just do this show about nothing. And I'm like, what?
It was, and a lot of it was just his stand-up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just great. I think it's hysterical.
And
He's
I
still
think
funny.
they actually had real laughs, you know, like they back into the thing, you know, the Jeffersons, the Archie Bunker days, you know. It's like that was those. When you heard those laughs, those actually real people laughing.
It was real people in the studio, and then they got away from it, and it was all canned laughter for a while with a lot of shows, and then they
Well,
turned
that's
around
when,
and they started doing it again.
That's when Three's Company came in.
And then Malcolm in the Middle.
Three's Company might have been like.
And then Malcolm in the Middle is what killed the laugh track because they just wanted it to be so different than every other show. Now every other, that's why laugh tracks, died in about the year like 2000 or so.
Right.
It's like, nope, no laugh track. It's all just gonna be.
Well, a lot of the sitcoms are like that now, like the Goldbergs and the ABC stuff that's still going on. They don't have all that crap.
Yep. Because it's Malcolm in the Middle.
And that was good
That was a
because
funny
it was so
But now
it
they're
was
doing a spin-off now of something that's similar to that. That
What?
sounds similar to the name. It's it's almost the same show, the same characters, just different people. I forgot the name of it now. Imagine that.
what you mean they're regurgitating another show?
Yeah.
You
Bunny
know,
probably knows.
it's another cover. It's
Yeah,
a
Bunny
cover of a
watches
show.
it. I don't know if I can get her to. I don't even know if she's still watching or not, but.
Is she still awake?
No, probably. There's a good possibility not.
She's probably asleep.
Yeah,
Bless
we
her
gotta
heart.
go and do chemo Wednesday. We missed a couple of them.
Missed them.
Well, yeah, because we were under quarantine for a while.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
That
How many
ended
more?
last-
How many more?
Well, we were supposed to get onto the 3-month part of the treatment where it goes every week.
Mm-hmm.
I've missed 2 rehearsals, which is minute to hers.
Right.
But I'm gonna throw that in there anyway.
Do that. Do that. It is minute.
But
But she is so strong.
she's.
She is so strong. This,
You know,
this
and
is
then,
this
you
is
know,
just a bump in the
And
road.
to talk about, I gotta humbly talk about me and, if I can, just for a second, about me and Bridget. I mean, she has been, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in front of friends or I'm on the air, If I didn't mean it or didn't think it, it didn't matter if I had Patron in me or not, or a couple beers or something.
I know that about you. He doesn't pull any punches.
I'm
No,
not.
he does not.
When
No
I say
filter.
I love and respect this guy,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful for him, I mean it.
Yes, he does.
And that's the same way it is with my wife. But she was the beginning of it all,
Mm-hmm.
for me, And I, sitting here, she gets to work from home, thankfully.
That's
Since
good.
there's been a lot of blessings in a lot of ways since this COVID shit hit.
Right.
'Cause she worked in the heart of downtown, across the street from Union Station.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna let you drive there. We got 2 cars.
Mm-hmm.
She can drive herself there, and she's a very independent woman.
Yeah.
A lot like you.
Mhm.
You ain't gonna tell her what to do.
Right. But she's
Unless
a
it's
very
time to.
right. But right when you got to carry her out,
It's
But
like,
that's
what, you gonna throw me in the trunk?
yes. Bridget, we've done that. No, but she's always a very positive force.
She is.
She's
she
a
is.
very positive force, no matter what, and she's
done
got
nothing, like I said, we're not perfect. We've had our wrestling matches.
the. It's always been your fault, you know
I
that.
know that.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I know. Yes, Bridget, we love you. I love you so much.
She's Scottish and Irish, so there you go.
Yes, but she's always been, even if she's being stern, she's very positive.
And
You
you're
know.
never gonna win an argument with her, so
That's
I'm
right.
still learning that one. But I'm close. She
Okay.
thought she was gonna have me the time she locked me in the basement. I just ran from
Stop
the
leaving the toilet seat up.
I just ran from the. At the time I was living with my friend of mine, Steve Barr. I don't know if you know Steve Barr.
Yes, I know Steve.
Very
Barr.
good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine. Hope to see him soon.
Is he doing all right?
As far as I know,
He's been around a while.
Yeah, he's
a hermit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's out in Winston now, or close out to that direction, and just building his house. And I haven't talked to him since we moved out of his house that we rented for about 3 years, where we recorded vocal tracks. I recorded my vocal tracks in
Oh,
Steve
very cool.
house. Lullaby in Overland. He had a couple houses out there for sale. They're finally gone, but where was I going with this?
I don't know.
I don't even.
I don't remember. You were talking about living out there, and she locked you in the basement. And
Oh yeah, and I just ran from the bottom of the steps. And these are one of these old houses. They had the little clip thing, the little slide bar,
Yeah.
and it goes
Right.
into a hole. Where the side of the wall is made, it's not made out of 2x4s and drywall. It's made out of steel.
Yes.
So, needless to say,
They made houses
running
to
up from
last
the
back
bottom
then.
of the steps as fast as I can, and trying to knock down the door didn't work out. But yeah, we she is just to think about what we've already gone through with her in the very beginning of our relationship with the operations. When we met, she had fibroids. And we had to get rid of all the female parts and all that. She lost half her body's blood before that even happened. And then go through all that, and then one of the doctors almost kills her. And then she's got to be opened up 6 months later to put 8x10 stomach mesh on her. And she's already beat skin cancer once already. She
strong.
is Wonder Woman. She really
is.
is.
As
She
long
is.
as you're there with her, it's all good.
I mean, I can't imagine my life without her.
That's
and,
good.
And to know what we're facing right now with her dilemma, it's.
She's gonna come out. She's gonna come out of it.
She is. Tomorrow's the anniversary of the mother of my daughter's death, who died of the same thing. And that's just unbelievable that I'm even sitting here alive. And she was a total health junkie. The vitamins. Get up 4 o'clock in the morning, go jog an hour and a half before you go to work. The juicers. Occasionally her poison was pizza, and it had to be Little Caesars of all people. If you're gonna eat pizza, eat Ferracci's or Sarah's.
Go big or go home, man. I mean,
Right.
come on. Little Caesar.
But that was hers because
Right.
she was kind of frugal,
Right.
and but I mean, didn't cuss, didn't drink, and tomorrow's the 3rd year anniversary of her death, which I plan on visiting her grave tomorrow for that, and it's just this show's not all about me, and I know it seems like it's kind of going that direction.
That's all
and
good.
I'm sorry. Let him talk.
We've got about 5 more minutes.
All right.
So you guys, you're playing at Diamond.
Diamond Music Hall, Bad Tattoo. This is the debut of my. We're back on me again. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So
I'll
David,
have to buy him
but when
milk or something.
why is he not?
Milk.
Why is he not play? Why is he not playing with you?
He's not in the cover band.
My day job is too demanding for me to do the weekend,
Learn all the covers and learn the
weekend
covers.
out,
Not
you know,
that he's
demanding
not
work.
more than capable of being that guy. But,
Yeah,
but I got a group
But like
of
he
guys.
said earlier, why learn all the covers when you can do better with your own stuff?
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
which
and
is
we
awesome.
get to do that. and
Because we need the originals to make more covers.
Yeah.
Right.
We do.
Somebody would play. I just learned this cover from HellTown Saints.
Exactly.
That'd be cool. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'll be dead by then. but-
Yeah.
No, but once you get out there and get your band together,
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't mind playing, once a month or 3 or 4 times a
Yeah.
year or whatever, like special event type gigs. But there was the grind of being in a cover band, playing every weekend and
right.
do we know all our songs? Do we know this? Because I did this when I was in my early 20s, and it was like, I got burned out on it. So
Right.
it's like, you know what, I can play music, but I'm going to be a little bit more selective about the kind of things
Right.
that I do. If I record stuff, I can play open stages where there's no pressure. Because someone else has put up all the money to have all that equipment there. Someone else is worried. Has to worry about
Right.
how do we pay this? Who gets paid what? Hey Tony, I'm going to play Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith with you the 15th time. 15 times a month. Great, let's do it. We
Right.
do it. It's all, that to me is is more fun than me having to go through the grind of
Learning all those songs.
yeah, you know, when
You know, in all reality, I mean, for me, on my end of it, it's kind of a beautiful thing because I can get away from the cover thing a little bit and go to something different, but while still keeping my chops up, you know, because like I said, you know, during our first recording, I took 3 years out of it. My debut is at Diamond Music Hall, January 7th.
That's great.
Through the whole COVID thing, that's all you know, one of the bands that saw me with Mike Matthews in Charlotte,
Right.
just like him,
Well, what?
was,
Go ahead.
was you know, what we've been working on. I mean, we've been working our asses off, you know, and it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. There's so much behind the scenes of recording something, and I know you know this, but to the listeners that don't, there is so much behind a band that you never fucking see.
Right.
And that is all the work.
There was a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears.
To do 45 minutes or 3 hours, there's more work involved in that than anybody will ever. It's not glamorous by any means.
yeah, yeah, like one time I took my niece to go see was Iron Maiden and Ghost, and Derek, you know, Brumley was handing out tickets to see Conquest. You know, it was like 95 degrees, and I told my niece, is like, see that right there? That's the life of your local musician. It's you know,
Right.
he's standing out here in 95-degree heat, handing out tickets to his show.
Yep.
And what a humble
Definitely.
man to do. I mean, Derek Lumley, he's a good friend
He's
of
a
mine.
sweetheart. He is an absolute dog.
He helped me pay for my wedding rings.
Oh,
I
nice
worked for
guy.
him when I was at the time I was working at a place called Wainwright, and I got to work 3 12-hour shifts. Thankfully, at the time, I got to be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because I was slamming it with Mike Matthews on those during the week and then on the weekends, and I got to work with him. You know, I never lifted so much crap in my life. 150-pound boards.
Yeah.
But he helped, and he's been at 2 of my marriages.
He's a sweet
my
guy.
last one and the one before that. You know, Derek's been there, and he's just a great guy. I've been to
Well,
his
we're all
house.
jealous of his hair.
He's got pretty hair.
Well, the only part I'm jealous about is his straight hair. I'm losing. Other than that, I got the coolest hair for a bald guy.
Well, don't do that comb over. If you do that freaking comb over that goes from here, oh yeah. Oh, I can't stand that.
You know,
Just
I won't
get
be
rid of
looking
it.
like DJT. No.
Just get rid of it. Yeah, no, he's a sweetheart. He's a really nice guy. He's a hard-working guy. He's
Yeah,
had
he is.
Conquest
He's-
for
he's-
how
he's
many?
got a-
40-some years. He's had Conquest going.
40 years, that is probably the longest band
Nope.
history in St. Louis
Nope.
that I'm aware of.
Nope. Mama's Pride.
Mama's Pride.
45 years. Yeah.
And I
They're
know
all
I s-
still. They're all still. The only reason they don't play is because of one of the players can't play. He can't play anymore. So they don't do Mama's Pride just because of that. And I think that's totally just the most upstanding thing I've ever heard.
It's
They
cool,
just
but at the
replace-
same time, there's a part of me that goes, keep it alive as much as you can. a
Well,
little
they
bit.
do. So the Listening Boys, you know, Brad, listen to me. Danny and Pat, they still do shows together,
Yeah.
and they do their solo stuff. But other than that, I mean, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that went on
Favorite
with
song
them.
by them guys, I think it's called Misty Blue. Is that it?
Blue Mist.
Blue Mist.
Yes.
They're gonna kill me for that one. Sorry.
The nicest. I mean, they're just.
I'm gonna
a blast.
blame it on a Patron.
I blame it on Patron. No, they're just super nice guys, but yeah, they just kind of, it's just kind of shelved right now. But I mean, Mama's Pride, and then there's who's the other one? There's one more band I can't think of who it is. Shit.
And
But
from
yeah,
that
it's
genre,
huh?
from that era.
Yeah, I can't remember who it is.
It doesn't have anything to do with Great Edict, does it?
God love him.
Is he still alive?
Edict's Way, yes.
Good
He's
for
got
him.
Vicky Michaels as his front. Vicky Michaels. She's
Well, yeah, but she's still with them.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
She's incredible.
she's awesome. She's
I
got a
love
voice.
I'm not a big female singer kind of guy. No, but here, listen to me
What
first.
did you just say?
No, you gotta be. If
I'm
you're a
gonna
female
throw
singer, in
this
my book,
gavel.
if you're
What?
a female singer, you gotta sound original. Like
Kelly Wilde.
Kelly Wilde's awesome. I mean,
There
she
you
does,
go.
She does AC/DC better than AC/DC.
She does AC/DC. She does Rush. She does Queen.
But I'm
She's
talking
got a
about,
range like you wouldn't believe. Holy
the
shit.
Cranberries.
Leslie Craig. What about Leslie Craig?
Dolores O'Riordan. That is the one, Enya,
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Brightman. Those are the Natalie Cole. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Anita Baker.
Need a baker to make
Sade. So if you're a female singer, I want to hear original. I don't want you sounding like my mom.
check
I know.
out Lacuna Coil.
Lacuna Coil.
Yeah, from Italy.
But so I do like female singers, but when I hear a female singer, I want to hear something that just sounds like my mom.
Just floors you.
Just floors me, and then
That's good.
like the people that I just mentioned, my favorite female singer is Dolores O'Riordan. From
What about
Cranberries.
Anastasia Hamilton?
Not familiar with that.
Gypsy Soul.
No, not
She's
familiar.
got a voice. Holy shit, she's got a
Local?
Yes.
Okay, I have to check that out.
Amazing.
Isela Nicola from I think it's Asia. She's a good friend of mine, Bob Cruz's sister,
Mm-hmm.
who sings for Shangri-La.
Mm-hmm.
I like her. I told her, I said I like her voice on her original material
Mm-hmm.
because it sounds different.
Mm-hmm.
As cover, she's good, but I'd rather hear her sing her original music.
It sounds better.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. You hear more of her.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. For sure. Anyway,
So there you go.
so there you go. So what I would suggest is why don't you guys, you should go to jam nights and find your rhythm guitar player.
Yeah.
Because you've got Diamond has, okay, so Parrots is Wednesday night, Thursday night is Charlotte, and Diamond has theirs on Thursdays also. I mean, because I know there's a guy who comes in and plays, he's freaking phenomenal. I don't know if he's in a band or not, he's really good. He comes in and plays 2 or 3 songs and he bails.
You're not talking about Pirates Wade, are you?
No.
Right.
Pirates Wade does all original music and
Yeah.
he does acoustic stuff.
He's
amazing.
awesome. He's gonna be video on our show.
He is so cool. He was there Saturday night and he was there Wednesday night too. So yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he'll be doing our video for January 7th show at Tiny Music Hall.
Shameless
Bad
plug.
tattoo, bad tattoo.
Bad
with the 45.
tattoo. That's awesome.
But and then we also got Angela, I think her name is, a photographer that night.
Angela.
Yeah.
I don't how.
I am horrible at names. If I don't see-
Gerardier.
Yeah, I am horrible at names.
She is a badass photographer. She's
Yeah.
awesome for sure.
Looking,
But she is their house photographer.
I've spent between my outfit for that night and the video and the photographer, I've spent over $1,000 of my own money. Diamond Music Hall.
It's a cool venue.
Who's gonna top that right now?
It's a cool venue. It's a great stage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it was so easy to get in there. I couldn't believe it, and I'm having a hell of a time getting in a night show. But hey Johnny, I want to play Diamond Music Hall. Can we play her? Yeah,
Come on.
do it. Then our first book dates got kind of crossed, and we're on Thursday nights when they tried to do the Thursday jam,
Mm-hmm.
with the bands, which didn't work out. So we wound up being better and got a Friday gig.
Well, there you go. That's all good.
But then Tim Fleetwood, he did our backdrop from Conquest,
Mm-hmm.
which I still cannot believe he's not in Conquest anymore.
I know.
That is just so weird to say that.
It is so weird to say that. When I saw that on Facebook, I said, "Why is Lee Skiles in your picture?" And I didn't say that. I was like, okay, I don't think I want to know, but
Right, yeah.
but Tim is definitely he's a very deep guy.
Yes, he
I
is.
mean, and I used to watch him before they would go on a show. He gets to get in the drummer zone, and he's in a zone like nobody can touch. And I have seen the intensity and watched him play, and I've taken pictures of it, and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, he has become the drums, and he's the dude. So, I don't know if it was something I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was just like, I need a break, or.
From what I gathered, it was more about his business with Extreme Raps. You know, it's really taken off.
Right.
That's awesome. He's done 2 backdrops for me now. First band was Stuck on Stupid.
Right. But he's a perfectionist, so it's going to
And
be.
he is,
and if he can't give
he's-
150%, he doesn't want to do it. But he wants to do it.
But
So
35 years out of the 40-year history of Conquest, I mean,
I know.
that's pretty incredible.
Yep, definitely.
And that whole band has got nothing but my respect. And then the songwriting on that they did on The World's Gone to Hell and what's going on with the next album, is I know bits and pieces, and so it's just we're finally getting to that point that a band that's been around that long.
And he's always had really good players.
Yeah,
And he's always had a great
So-
sound. I mean, even though he's had different players, it's like a different sound with that group of whoever's playing with him, It's
I was
just.
surprised to find out. I don't remember that far back, but I don't that Tony Privido.
Tony Privitter, yes. He was,
Privitter.
yes.
Can't say his name.
Tony
He
Privitter,
was
yeah.
one of
And
the
he's got a
original
voice.
singers. He was-
Holy, yes, he was a singer, yes. Definitely. So, he's I mean, Derek has not had any slackers for anything. I mean,
It's about time you had to pee. You sat there for 2 hours.
You keeping track of this?
He's awake.
Yeah, because I got to pee next.
But yeah, no, Derek's always had really good players, and it's always been top notch. I mean, he's just so you got to give him that. But sometimes you just got to find the right mix. And when I heard that Tim left, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because those 4, they were a
I found
powerhouse.
out from Tim himself that he was out of the band because we were talking through.
And I know it had to be a
Message.
struggle with Tim because he's a sweet guy
Yeah.
and he's just all about. He always wants everything done. I mean, he's serious when it comes to doing stuff.
He's a very deep guy. He is.
So I don't think it was a decision that was made very lightly.
No.
Because I've seen him play and nobody has that intensity and that just.
And Lee Skiles is going to be a good fit. I've jammed once or twice with Lee Skiles back in the day, and
he was with Divine Sorrow before he went to Super Jam.
yeah, that Divine Sorrow was a creation of what I was in the beginning with them guys. We had a couple auditions and it all fell through. I had my head so far up my ass in those days.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Was there a loud pop when you had it removed?
Huh?
Was there a loud pop when you had it removed?
I can't remember. I'm deaf.
Well, I'm glad you can admit that. We
But
all
I
have
got to jam with
those
Matthew
moments.
Q and,
Yeah.
And there was another guy at the time who had to come pick me up that was going to be the bass player, and I think I wound up. His son was in a band called Soul something,
Soul Kiss?
not Soul Kiss, but his son was a guitar player, Lee Skiles, and they were in a band, and they were really getting a really good name for him, and I just decided. I was drinking all his cherry vodka, Lee Skiles, and I think I polished it off, and I just wandered off to the bathroom, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go downstairs and watch his son's band play. And I sat there, and as soon as I sat there, they both all stopped. And I'm like, okay, awkward moment. So, and then I got, Lee proceeded to tell me, I'm going to Japan tomorrow, so we won't be getting together this week. And I'm like, I get it.
Right. Gotcha.
I gotta pee real quick. We are off here, aren't we?
No, we're not. We're waiting on you to come back so we can say goodnight.
Oh, all right.
God. Bunny! Is he driving?
Nope, that's me.
Thank you. Oh my God. Well, as soon as he comes back from peeing, then we are going to say goodnight, and then we're going to take a picture, and then you guys can get out of here.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Yes,
so,
thanks for having us.
What are your plans as far as you're just going to wait to find your guitar player and then you can play?
Well, I
Because-
think it's going to be record vocals first, which will hopefully that's not going to take too long. That could still take a couple of months. And, since we can't dedicate 8 hours a day, 5 days a week to it.
Right.
So yeah, finish the vocal parts and then get it to a fixed format, and probably go out there and see if we can, get a permanent second guitar player or a temporary second guitar player.
They're out there. There's
I know there's a whole store called Guitar Center, which is nothing but inhabited by guitarists who play in their basement like I do.
Yeah, but I would go to Killer Vintage is where I would go.
Yeah.
Just because it's more, down to earth. I'm not a huge fan of Guitar Center. I like Killer Vintage just because it's,
We gotta get a couple
Dave
pictures
Vincent.
with us all.
We will as soon as you get your ass over here so we say goodbye.
Yeah.
Waiting on you, princess.
You have to see me during the day, man. I don't look like a princess. This is a costume.
Is it?
Yes. I'm not like Blackie Lawless, but I do put on a costume. I don't look like this all the time. Most of the time I was telling them on the right hours. Most of the time I went, what did I say? I go, my hair's in a rat's nest. I look like hell. Half alive or half dead. I just, something, yeah. Half alive or half dead, I just can't tell.
Episode 92. HellTown States. Vance is awake.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Vance and John in the house. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yep.
You're awesome. Thanks for bringing your music, playing, and all that good stuff. You can see Vance and his cover band, Bad Tattoo, January 7th at Diamond Music Hall. And the 45s are opening for them, so it's going to be a killer show.
No,
And-
we're opening for them.
You're opening for
Just
they're opening for you.
the show.
They're just opening the show.
That band is awesome, man. They've been
45s,
around for
yeah, they're
10
great.
years, and,
Yeah, they're great.
But it was weird. I started out saying it. The 45 is open.
The 45s.
Don't be mistaken.
It doesn't matter. Two bands are playing. Take your ass there and see them both.
Right. Exactly. We're both gonna kick your ass.
That's right. We're gonna melt your faces. That's
We've
what you
been
want.
working hard.
And
hard.
John needs a rhythm guitar player so they can
Yep.
play live. So
Yes, we do.
yes, and it's all original music. You
Because
guys, what
bands
you're doing.
can't think that much to play guitar and sing at the same time.
That's right.
And if you're a lead guitar player too, we will certainly we can certainly use you too. I mean,
Definitely. There's a couple of them out there,
You know
but
who I've always
Yeah.
thought about doing this with us was Matt Lindstrom.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Matt Lindstrom, his band is Pay Dirt.
Pay Dirt.
Oh, okay.
He's
Who
awesome.
is his singer? Steve Burgess, is that his name?
Steve, I think so.
I keep asking him all
Can't
the time,
remember.
and I always keep forgetting.
But Matt's also in, if I'm not mistaken, he's in another band. He is
He's
in a
in
cover
Sunset
band.
Strip.
He's in Sunset Strip, and I believe he also fills in at Kapow sometimes. But hit him up, see what he says. I mean,
I
it's
was
not-
always kind of envisioned him, as,
he's awesome.
yeah.
They've been in here. They're
So
great.
if you're listening, Matt,
Get off your ass!
she's going right now. I didn't even know I was even considered.
What do you mean, not Vance? Not that guy. I'm not dealing with him.
I'm not that bad.
No. You've grown up, haven't you?
Well,
He got his head removed from his ass, man. It's gonna be okay.
Thanks to my wife.
Yes. And of course, shout out to Bridget. She's the bomb. We love you. She is awesome. All right, we are out of here and see you next week.